Hey everybody, it's Eric Strock with Stone Valley Hobby and Games. It's a continuation of game night, and we're still playing Marvel Champions. I'm telling you what, we are several games. I must have over 20 plays, probably closer to 30 plays. I lost count somewhere. So much for my board game geek counting, but we're working through the boxes. We're still in the core set. I believe we have still 2 heroes to go and 1 villain to go in the core set with basic concepts. But what we've done is I'm starting to get an idea of how at least Rhino and Klaw fight. So Klaw is super schemy and his attacks with all the boosts super tough, so exponentially more difficult than Rhino. Rhino, he like punches you and then he punches you, but not really so much threat on the scheme, so not a big deal there. But so we're down to the 2 heroes that I mentioned before, so we're going to go with, let's see, I think he's, remember right, he is somewhere around here. The Iron Man. Oh, that's not the Iron Man. So the Iron Man, and we're going to take him up against the Klaw. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll be here all week. But the Iron Man normally comes with aggression as his aspect, but based on my understanding with Spider-Man, with She-Hulk, aggression is not good against Klaw because he gets the scheme out so fast. So I think I'm going to switch it up and try it with leadership. So we're going to do Iron Man. He's going to be the leader Iron Man, the one who took one for the team in, this movie franchise. So I think that's what we'll try. We're going to do Iron Man versus Klaw tonight for Stone Valley Hobby and Games game night. Let's check it out. All right, true believers, let's see what we got here. So this is the game setup. I'm not going to walk you around the board. You can watch one of my earlier videos for this to do that. So what we have, though, is we have Iron Man. So Iron Man has a Nemesis. Nemesis cards are set up here. Then we're going to use Klaw, the Masters of Evil set that goes with Klaw, and the standard cards. And then, of course, the obligation from Iron Man himself, Business Problems. And this will be the Klaw deck. I will tell you, it is very... I'm not going to go to expert yet. I'm still having problems with Klaw across the hero sets. He's much more difficult than you would think. I guess maybe, well, the countless times that I've played against Klaw, he just can't always be unlucky, so it's just set up that way. But he's tough, depending on how his boosts come out and depending on how many hits he gets for his threat. He can, even though technically he gets 0 for his attack in his base mode, it gets crazy quick. I think there was a game I was playing and I think it was even the first turn, and he got out 2 side schemes and 3 minions in that one turn. And then I think my favorite game, I have it on video, one of the She-Hulk ones, she actually beat his first persona, and he still beat her. So she couldn't get him on the second one. So we're going to try the Klaw. And since I have the Klaw, I might as well finish the Klaw out. So we start with 1A. You got your Klaw 1, Klaw 2 for standard encounter. We're going to get this Defense Network side scheme and reveal it. So that is here. It gets 2 threat and an additional threat per player for 3. And it's got the exclamation point. What the exclamation point means is I cannot take anything off of the main scheme until I've removed it from the side scheme. Then I flip it to 1B. 1B says, discard cards until a minion is discarded. Armored Guard comes up, and he is tough, and he's got guard, which means while this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain. So I already believe that I'm going to have to figure out how to keep the Klaw at bay while I put the Iron Man suit together. But all right, then it's one scheme, or I'm sorry, one threat on the scheme. All right, excuse me. Then we have the Iron Man. So here's the Iron Man cards, the leadership aspect cards, and then the standard cards. So Iron Man himself, the concept behind the characters, the way the cards work is very similar to how Iron Man works in the movies. He's just a regular person for the most part until he slaps that suit on and gets his super powers through that. And I'm going to shuffle and randomize the cards as I do in the game. That way we both find out at the same time what's going on, which makes it a little more interesting for both of us. I've seen some who don't shuffle their decks, and I'm always curious on if they might have set those things up beforehand. Well, you know, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true though, right? And one of the interesting things about this card game is it really does do justice on making the characters feel like themselves, like the main characters, and I'm sure with future sets they'll make it even more interesting. And the other hero that I forgot to mention that we've played, and we beat Klaw with Captain Marvel with leadership, which is how we got the idea. Because we couldn't beat him with Captain Marvel with aggression. So he's beat pretty much every set of my heroes. So let's see how we fare with the Iron Man. I'm feeling hopeful, but that might not be long-lived. We always start off with the alter ego. So now that I have everything set up, it's my turn to start. I draw to 6. And what can we do here? All right, I believe this is pretty good. All right, I'm going to need the vision later. I really need that. It's kind of like I need what I have in my hand a couple turns from now where I could power it up a little better. But I need to get dressed is what I need to do. So I'll worry about the rest a little later. So I'll save that card and that card for now and use these to power. So I will pay 1 and 2. Again, the symbols down in the bottom left-hand corner of the card are powering whatever's in the upper right-hand corner of the card. And this is gauntlets. And I'm going to look at the top 3 cards of my deck, add 1 to my hand, and discard the others. Actually, it doesn't matter either way. Then I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3 for power of leadership, 4 to bring out the vision. And I will pass. So when I pass, first thing we do is we add a threat to the main scheme. And then since I'm an alter ego, he's going to scheme 2. And he gets a boost of 1 for 3. And then the Armored Guard schemes nothing. Then the encounter card is a weapons runner. After this card is revealed, reveal 1 additional encounter card. That encounter card, each Masters of Evil minion attacks the hero it is engaged with. If no attacks are made this way, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Masters of Evil. Put it into play engaged. And shuffle the encounter. And Whirlwind is the first one I see. I should have drawn at the end of that turn. Then it passes back to me. I'm checking what I have here. These are good. All right. I'm going to pay 1 for the helmet. Let me look at the top 3 cards of my hand. Keep 1 and discard the other 2. I'm going to pay 1 for Inspired. Attached to an ally, max 1 per ally. Attached ally gets +1 thwart and +1 attack. Then I'm going to spend a energy resource, choose thwart or attack, and I'm going to choose thwart. Actually, his thwart is, yeah, that gives him 2, 3, 4 thwart, and I'm going to take the defense network down so that I can start taking off the main threat. And with that thwart, he gets a damage counter. And I'm going to switch to the Iron Man. he is going to thwart for 2. One damage to the armored guard to lose the toughness. And the helmet to lose another. And then at the end of that, I ready my cards and draw to my hand size of 1, 2, and 3. So I draw one more card. And he just might get killed this round. That might just be it right there. It'd be the shortest game ever, but it's possible with Klaw. So we hand it over to Klaw, and he's got 1 threat on the scheme. He's got an attack of 0, but he gets 2 cards. This one is 2, and this one is nothing, so attacks for 2, takes me to 7. Then the armored guard attacks for 1. The weapons runner attacks for 1. The whirlwind attacks for 2. And also resolves his attack against each other hero. Since there is no other heroes, it's just me, so it takes me down to 3. Then the encounter card. So it's another one, and it just can't come in. So that takes it back to my turn. And I'm going to go to Tony, and I'm going to recover 3, take him to 6. I'm going to exhaust the vision to thwart for 2. I'm going to look at the top 3 cards of my... Actually, no, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to ready my cards and draw to my hand size of 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Past a turn, so this Klaw. So the first thing I do is I put a threat on the scheme, and the Klaw gets 2, and he adds a boost of 2 more. I believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's 6. So once it gets to 6, we open up this one. So this is to do another minion, but he's already got 3 minions against me. And then he's got 1, unless I just get rid of one of the minions to put that minion down. I guess I could do that. It's an armored guard for the armored guard, I guess. Same rules that I had for me. So that means he comes in with a tough on him. And the reason these didn't scheme, well, they could have schemed on this, but it didn't matter. It was already over. You can't take it back once it's already past it. So once this gets to 8, it's game over. And now the encounter card. The villain schemes. So he schemes for 2. And the boost is 2 more. Pass this to me. I'm going to pay 1 for the boots. Gives me +1 hit point. I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3 for pepper pots. I'm going to recover 3, and because I have a +1, I get to go to 10. And I will flip. And we'll draw 3 cards and discard 1. Or 2, I mean. I'll remove a threat from this scheme. And I will attack the guard for, doesn't matter, he loses his tough. Actually, I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to keep this one and discard these 2. And that way, when I exhaust pepper pots, I can generate the resources of the top card of my discard pile, which is energy for 2, and play the arc reactor. Exhaust the arc reactor to ready Iron Man. And thwart 2. And then ready all my cards. And my hand size is now 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, switch to them, and first thing we do is put threat on the scheme. Then we go to attack mode, so Iron Man is going to, well, he's going to not defend. I'm going to defend when we get to Whirlwind with Vision, though. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to oh. Looks like I have to live through this. Alright, so he's going to attack. He gets 1 and discard 1 card at random from my hand. Discarding the Stark Tower. So that's 1, takes me to 9. Armored Guard attacks for 1, Weapons Runner attacks for 1, and the Whirlwind attacks for 2. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 take me back to 5 again. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to exhaust Pepper Potts to do the resource here of 1 to pay for first aid, to heal 2 damage from any character, heal him from the vision. I'm going to spend a energy resource for the vision and give him +2 to his attack, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5. On Whirlwind. Then I will finish Whirlwind off with Iron Man. I will remove 1 threat from the scheme. I don't have the resource to be able to fly. So I'll do 1 damage to the Armored Guard. And I will ready my Iron Man. I will thwart for 2. Then I will switch to Tony Stark. Ready my cards. Draw to a hand size of 6. See if there's anything I can do on their turn. There is one. Then switch to the bad guys. So the first thing we do, then Klaw schemes for 2. And on the second one, I'm going to play Emergency, cost 0 to reduce it by 1. But then he gets a bonus of Tough. The Armored Guard schemes 0, and the Weapons Runner schemes 1. The Encounter card. Each Master of Evil minion attacks the hero is engaged with. If no attacks are made this way, search the Encounter deck and discard pile. Well, there's one right here. The old Tiger Shark. And it switches back to me. I'm going to look at the top 3 cards of my deck. Discard 1, or discard 2 and keep 1. Whoops. That was in my hand already, was these 3. So I'm going to keep the Haymaker and get rid of these 2. All right. I got to start doing some damage here eventually. So the Vision is going to attack for 3 against the Tiger Shark. Actually, no, let me take that one back. Think about this. So I'm going to exhaust Rocket Boots and spend a science resource. So that's a science resource that I'm going to spend Pepper Potts exhausted on. That puts me in the air. Then I will pay one energy to give him +2, so he's got an attack of 5. And I will hit the Tiger Shark for 5. All right. So I exhaust this. It does 2 damage if I'm flying, which I am right now. So I'll take out the armored guard. This takes 1 threat from each scheme. I will attack with the Iron Man on the Tiger Shark for 1. I will pay Strength for 2, Genius for 2, that's 4. For War Machine, and attack Weapons Runner for 2, which gets rid of the Weapons Runner. I will exhaust the arc reactor to bring Iron Man back up. And I will draw 3, keep 1. I will play Get Ready to ready an ally. I will ready War Machine. And I will attack. No. I will attack with Iron Man to get rid of Klaw's Tough card. And then I will attack with the War Machine for 2. Then I will ready all my cards. And draw to my hand size of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So he'll probably kill me this round, but so he attacks for 0, 1, 2. So he gets 2. Takes me to 3. And this time I will defend. No, I won't. Let's see. The War Machine will defend. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because he already attacked. So let's see what the... He gets a +1 on his attack. And after he attacks with it, stun that character, you have to pay a energy, science, and fighting resource to discard the card. So it goes back to my turn. I'm going to pay Well, I might as well try to do this so when I try to draw the 3 cards I can't. So what we're doing now is, since I got to the bottom of the deck, since I'm drawing, I get to keep drawing. I have to draw 3 cards and discard 1. So there's 1 card there. And let's see, so we got War Machine's doing pretty good, Vision's doing, so I got my allies are doing pretty good right now. So I drew that one. 1, 2, 3, and keep 1. And I'll keep my minion, my ally, excuse me. I will exhaust Pepper Potts to use that resource for flying. For flying is up in the air. I will pay 1 with the Nick Fury card for the upgrade of War Machine, so he gets +1 thwart and +1 attack. I will pay with the Power of Leadership for 2. Which is choose a player. Each character that player controls gets +1 thwart and +1 attack until end of the phase. So I wonder if I get to put these in any order I want, because I would do that. Put that on top. Oh, I already exhausted her anyway. So he gets, if he uses the energy resource, which is that one, he gets +2, so +2. So that's 4, 5, and 6 with that on the Klaw. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, down to 4. I exhaust the helmet. To get rid of a scheme. And technically I could take it off the other one, but it doesn't really do anything. I'm going to do 2 more damage. So he's attacked. Actually, let me save that one. So the War Machine gets 2, 3, and 4. So that kills the current, not kills him, but I guess it knocks him out. Klaw 1 is down. Klaw 2 pops out. When Klaw 2 pops out, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Immortal Klaw. And here's the Immortal Klaw. It's a side scheme. So this has got an accelerator on the main scheme. And it has 3 on it, 3 threat. And what it does is it gives 10 hit points to the Klaw, so the Klaw comes out with 28. 28. Okay, so now I'm going to use Iron Man to thwart 2 of them. I'm going to exhaust the arc reactor to bring Iron Man back, and I'm going to thwart 2 of them again. Only one of them really does it, which takes that away and puts Klaw back at 18. Then I will deal 2 damage to the Klaw since I am flying. That's 16. And then I will switch to Tony Stark. This accelerator comes back off. And I will ready and both of those attacks gave these guys 1 more. Ready, 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 ready. And when so I'll draw to my hand size of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I will pass the turn to Klaw. So Klaw is going to scheme for 2. And it schemes for 1 when it goes to their turn. And then he adds to that 3 more. So I'm 1 from losing. 4, 2, and 2. And then his counter. I either spend energy, science, or fighting, or exhaust each character I control. So I'm going to exhaust Pepper Potts to pay energy. Then I'm going to pay that for fighting, and that for science, so I do not exhaust all my characters. Then switch it back to my turn. All right. So I will pay 2 for Maria Hill. She enters play, each player draws a card. I hate to do this because I don't know. Let's see, he's at 16. I don't think I can get there. I'm going to have to do my best. So I'm going to pay the 1 science put me Ariel. Look at the top 3 cards of my deck. Add 1 to my hand. And get rid of the other 2. I'll switch to the Iron Man. I will exhaust the gauntlets to do 2 damage. 15, 14. I will pay, even though I really want to use this when I'm out of resources, I will pay 2 to lead from the front, which gives my characters +1 thwart and +1 attack. So that gives me an attack of 2, 3, 4 for vision. Take them down to 10. It's an attack of 2, 3, 4 for War Machine. Takes them down to 6. Gives me an attack of 2 for Hill. 5, 4. Then Iron Man attacks. Well, he attacks for 1, 3, and I can ready Iron Man. And he attacks for another 1, 2. Thwart a scheme. And not quite there. Couldn't quite get there. And when I pass the turn and the Klaw attacks, he has 2. And I will defend with Maria. He gets to add these 2. And this one's exhaust each ally I control. Oh, but I got the scheme for the turn. And then the encounter card is a side scheme with an accelerator on it. It's 3. Discards until a master of, so there's none left. I know they're in here. Okay. So that's the encounter. So she took one for the team. Oh, actually, I might still get this. Yeah, because it goes back to me now. And all I have to do is attack, exhaust, bring them ready, and attack again. Takes them down to the last two. So Maria Hill took one for the team at the very last turn so that I didn't take damage. It was one threat from being 8. If I didn't beat him that turn, I couldn't have beat him on scheme because it had an accelerator on it. So we got the Klaw. We were able to defeat Klaw with Iron Man and the leadership. So I think leadership aspect is the key here for Klaw. So that's kind of how I think this is going to work out. And the only other hero I haven't played yet is one of my personal favorites, Black Panther. So I think I'm going to take him against Ultron in the next one, Black Panther versus Ultron. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Eric Strock at Stone Valley Hobby and Games. You can find us at stonevalleygames.com. And it was a good win. It was tight, it was tough, but we got him in the end, somehow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.